Okay, first I'm going to show you how to capture the multiple images you'll be using. You go to your iPhone, hold down the shutter button. It'll take pictures in what they call burst mode. Here we're taking a series of pictures all at once. Now, if we switch to the Photos app, you'll see here in the upper left it says burst, 9 photos. So there are actually 9 images here. At the bottom you hit select and you can see all of the 9 images. These will be what we use to create our composite picture. You go through and select the ones you want and then say keep only favorites. In this case I just picked 3 for an example. And this is the same method that I use to collect these images of my dog coming down the A-frame that I'll be using in the demo. So now I want to show you how I got the photos from my phone into my Mac. And what you do is just go here to select, pick your photos, hit the little up arrow in the lower left, just wait for it, and you see there in AirDrop, my Mac shows up. You hit that, and now you can see here on my Mac screen is a little AirDrop message.
Launchpad. This is the Gimp open source photo editing software. It takes a little while to open, so I've already opened it. See it's down here. Now what you'll do is go to File. This is a great shortcut. You can say Open as Layers. This allows you to select all of the images and open them as once, each image on its own layer. You see there's the preview my dog coming down the A-frame. Now I say open. I'm going to need to rotate all of these. It's the way the iPhone rotates photos. Okay, here we go. We now have all of the photos loaded in Gimp, and over here you can see each photo is on its own layer. You can turn these layers visible and invisible. See, I just clicked on the little eye, and now that top layer is you can no longer see. It shows the layer below it. And you want to make sure that you have all of your images, the top layer being the closest to the camera and the bottom layer being the image furthest from the camera. If somehow when you're loading them this doesn't happen, it's no problem. You just click on the layer and you can move the images up and down until they're in the correct order. Mine are already in the correct order, so that's fine. Now the next important step, you want to select the first layer, the top layer, your closest image, and you need to go up here and go under layers, transparency, and you need to add alpha channel. If you don't add the alpha channel, when you start erasing, you'll erase to the white background. What we want to do is erase parts of this image to transparent so they show the image behind it. So adding the alpha channel is how you do that. That means There, I turned off all the layers except the top layer, and you can see these areas in check. Those are what they call the alpha channel. That's my transparent part of my top layer. And as you can see, there's some areas that I missed, I didn't get quite. So I can just go in and easily grab those. This is a good way to check and make sure you have everything erased. There. Now I'll turn my layer back on. There. Now you can kind of get the idea. You see how now we have the close image and the further image is superimposed over it. And I may have some work there to fix up the shadows. But that's the procedure. Now, I'll come back. The next step is once you have the top layer all erased where you needed it, the next thing to do is you go to layers and you say merge down. This will take the top layer and merge it with the layer below it. And we'll have one less layer, and that'll be our new top layer. And we'll keep working down through the layers until we have them all merged into a single image. I'll go into layer and merge down. Now you see this single layer has two images of my dog. After working with this for a bit, I think what goes a little quicker is to actually just toggle, make the top layer invisible, and just work on your outline with the eraser, just with only the image below visible. And I'm getting the shadow. And even though we're looking at the second layer, we're visibly seeing this layer, but this is the layer we're working on. This is the layer we're erasing. So let's turn this layer on, turn this layer off, crank the opacity back up, see how I'm doing on an outline. There, looks like we have a pretty good outline. I will resize my eraser, make it a decent size. Now we can just erase everything here in the middle. Gets the bulk of the work done a lot quicker this way. Still remember to pick up your mouse from time to time so you have that ability to undo without having to go back and fix everything. I'll make my brush a little smaller here in a second so I can fill in closer to the edges. Let's go down. There's a nice size. Single image. You can see here, let me zoom out a little so you can see even better. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of my dog coming down the A-frame. But as you can see from some of the erasures, like here, especially in the shadows, it's noticeable, and There's a few up here at the top where the sky was that it didn't turn out great because the sharp contrast between the shadow and the purple of the A-frame left all these little lines. So what we can do is we can use this clone tool to fill in those areas. What you do is you just pick the area that you want to copy, hold down the Control key, click, and now you've selected where you're going to copy from. And now you just paint over, and you see it moves the selection to that area. So we're going to pick a different place. There we go. And it just fills that in. Now we're going to pick another area. Just keep picking. There we go. We filled in some of those shadows. I think it's looking pretty good. Oh, we need to definitely fix that blue there. Let's zoom in some more. I think I'll try the clone tool first to see if we can smudge tool. There we go, clone tool. Get rid of some of that blue. There we go. Now we'll use the smudge tool and just kind of go around the edges. Okay. Zoom out. I think we've got a pretty neat picture there. I'm going to keep this. So now I want to export our file. And I'm going to export it as a JPG. Let's go see how that image turned out. There it is, Elvis A-frame JPEG. That's our finished picture. I think it's pretty cool.